All right, we have Calvin Kattar with us. It is officially UFC 249 fight week, finally, as he will take on Jeremy Stephens this Saturday in Jacksonville, Florida. What a road it has been for the Boston finisher. Calvin, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. It's officially fight week. You've been through a lot to get to this point, but for the first time since this bout was booked, you actually can hear the words, "It's fight week." That has to sound amazing, does it not?
It sounds great. It sounds great. Yeah, keep putting a smile on my face.
It's just been a crazy time with everything going on, even like outside of the fight game, because I'm in Massachusetts myself, but I'm on the westernmost part of the state. But just seeing the weather patterns, man, like last week it snowed here. Like it snowed at the end of April, and then we had temperatures in the 30s some days. But the last few days, it feels like it's supposed to feel this time of year. I can't remember the weather patterns at this time of year in Massachusetts being so crazy. Can you?
Yeah, it's New England, man. It's pure chaos, much like the fight game, much like the pandemic. So being from New England, and in the fight game, I'm more than prepared for shit to hit the fan like it has as of late. Unfortunately.
Where are you guys right now?
Right now, we're out in Derry, New Hampshire, one of the select gyms that stayed open for us. Thankfully, we keep a small group knit of guys. It's close to the public, and we're able to get in, some sport-specific work here, and then pretty much outside of this, we're just hitting outside workouts and on our Rocky shit.
Yeah, because earlier on in this pandemic, like New Hampshire didn't really have the restrictions, like Massachusetts hit theirs, but New Hampshire was still kind of open for a lot of different ways. So that kind of helped out a little bit for you guys, right?
Yeah, a little bit. And then, I think now they're even shutting down all the trails and everything, but they're still selling bikes. Who knows, man? I try not to get too wrapped up in all that, but I'm just, I have a bike as well. So I'm hitting the roads. I'm running. I'm hitting hill sprints and getting in the sport specific at least once a day when I can. And like you said, it's been a long camp. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me and the family, the wife and the son, we went hiking yesterday, and when we got to the hiking trails, they had a bunch of signs that it was closed. I'm like, how can you close the hiking trails? Like, if there's anything that's social distancing, wouldn't hiking be that? We ended up going anyways, so hopefully we don't get in trouble for that. But
you would think, right? And I bet you the mountain was packed.
Actually, there's probably like 6 people on there, so even better.
Wow, yeah. I mean, you go to more towards the Mass side, people are just all in the streets. I can't really blame them. It's tough, especially for people that, what's more healthy. I think at some level, especially like you said, the weather's been shit. And if you look at the last month, I think there was probably more than 3 weeks of the last month were all rain and gray and cloudy. So, you get a quick chance to get an 80-degree day here in New England, man. It's tough to not want to take it, especially even just for the psychological effect of being healthy, getting some vitamin D. It's a balance, man. It's tough, but you got to try to do your part to be socially responsible and hit the hikes if you can where there's 6 people, like you mentioned, or, try to get creative with how you can get some fresh air, stay healthy, mentally, physically, and we're all trying to just do our best to overcome.
Well said. When do you and the squad head out to Jacksonville?
Tomorrow morning. So this is the last session we got here now, and finishing strong.
What are you guys going to do in terms of the airports? I saw Tyson tweet out earlier that Tyson Charter, your manager and your head coach, that, how do we practice social distancing in an airport? So how are you guys going to handle all that?
My brother was joking around saying he's got a big hazmat suit or whatever because he's a firefighter, and he's debating on giving us a couple. But instead, we got some N95 masks. We're going to wear them on the flight. Do what we can, but I'm sure as hell not driving there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's quite the hike, especially for a fight. So take the 3-hour drive and flight, and you're good.
Try to save some energy for the fight.
For sure. As you know, things are going to be a little bit different this time around for Fight Week. You'll be screened right away once you guys arrive. You'll get medical screenings daily. You're going to have your own private training room in the hotel with everything you're going to need, but it's sort of limited as to who can be a part of it. I'm not 100% sure how Fight Week is completely run for athletes from your experience, but how different will this be for you? Will this be a lot different than the past?
For sure. And anything that happens, man, we just roll with the punches. We just, adjust, adapt, overcome, whatever the situation is. I'm sure it'll be a little different, but everything that's going to be different for me is going to be different for him. And I deal with change pretty well. So I look to get a competitive advantage through all of this. And anything when shit hits the fan, I try to deal with it better mentally and let my adversary worry about, it messing with him. For me, I just adapt and overcome to anything that's thrown at me. That's really it. You know, we could fight here in Derry. We could fight wherever. I just don't overthink those things, the particulars. And down to the safety precautions, it's nice that you have Dana and the UFC worrying about those things, knowing they're going to be the first show in town. So they're not going to, hold back safety precautions. There's going to be a lot of eyes on them. And so all I have to do is really come out there ready to make weight and put on a hell of a show for everybody that's been dying to see some sports for the last couple months.
Has it been laid out to you at all what the screenings are going to consist of at all? I'm curious, like, will you be tested for COVID every day that you're aware of?
So the only thing that I'm pretty much aware of is like the first day out there. I guess we're going to get tested right away and kind of be in a holding pattern for 24 hours before we're able to see some UFC staff to just be sure whether or not you or your corners have COVID. And then from there, we're able to see the staff pending a negative result. And then before we come back, we'll also get another testing. And so we'll at least be tested several times when we're out there, but initially, and then I'm sure before we head back. So that's mostly the breakdown that I got, and anything else I'm going to probably hear as we go.
I know before the April 18th event, the plan was you guys were going to be tested, like, I guess, at home before you got on a plane. Is that still the case for this one as well?
No, not for this one. This one, we're going to be tested as soon as we land. And then we have to just wait that kind of 24-hour holding period. But, I hear they however they got to do it, man. It is what it is. Whatever it is, let's do it. You know, it's been, 18 weeks now? I've been planning on fights since January 5th. So whatever they want to do, cool, let's do it. Swab, do whatever you got to do. Let me get in there, do what I got to do, and get the hell out of there.
Do you know if they're going to do the swab all up in the nose? Like, I'm sure you've seen the videos.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'll tell you what, it's worse when they use a needle, because it's got a deviated septum. I've had that one. They jack up your nose and just go right, almost what seems to be your brain. So it brought back some old memories, but hopefully where the Q-tip won't hurt as much as the needle I took last time.
Yeah, I'll take the swab over the needle. Jeez,
brings back
Louise.
bad memories, though. It doesn't look fun, but I mean, it is what it is, man.
Finally, you're going to fight Jeremy Stephens on Saturday. And this one, like you said, it's been brewing for a while. You've been getting ready since January 4th. And I think from a personal perspective, this is perfect matchmaking. Like, you get a guy ranked above you in the top 10 coming off the last fight. At this point, you just want to fight. But, looking at it from a career evolution perspective, how do you like this one?
Yeah, I like it, man. It matches up well. I like it because he's got a smaller number next to his name, 7 compared to 9. So I got, I'm climbing with a win over Jeremy. And so that's really all. I just want guys that are ahead of me. And I take out Jeremy, it's a short list of guys, to the top.
Like you said, you're a roll with the punches kind of guy. You just take things as they go. And we've seen so many changes to this card and to the sports world over the last few months. Your fight has stayed intact throughout all of this. Are you surprised that nothing's changed at all?
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got two guys that, with me, I joke around, but I'm serious with it, man. Like, you don't need an insurance policy with me. Thankfully, 25 fights. Not to say I haven't been injured, or we all have our nicks and knacks going into a fight, but never pulled out once, never missed weight. I'm a professional, I hold myself accountable to a certain level of performance. And when I show up and I say I'm going to do something, I do it, and that's why I think you saw that fight. Be first on the fight cards, knowing it's solid, intact. And I think it takes a guy like Jeremy on the other end too to make that happen. So, shout out to him for aside from the March 7th shit that went down with the injury. Sometimes those things can happen. Like I said, we're not all immune to it, but some guys have it happen a lot more than others, But shout out to him for being a willing dance partner through this whole shit, himself. So here we are, and we're 6 days out, ready to put on a show for everybody sitting back, eager to see something in the sports world.
What's the weight like right now, if you don't mind me asking?
It's right where it needs to be. Although I'm questioning everybody else in the fight card. Like I said, it's an opportunity for me to get a leg up on the competition. I think some of these guys might be sitting back or in the kitchen too much, maybe quarantining and chilling, watching too much Netflix, or just being stuck inside. Sometimes your weight's going to go a little bit up, and then even just the stress. Sometimes stress might kick your levels up. Have you retain some things. So for me, I'm showing up ready to go. Everything's in the norm for me. And we'll see how these other guys hold up.
throughout Jeremy's career, he's had, he's known for the get in your face, throw bombs kind of style. But over the last couple of years, he's kind of tweaked things up a little bit. He's a lot less reckless. He's a little more patient. But, should he be thrust into a wild brawl type situation, he's not going to shy away from it. So stylistically, there's a lot to like from a competitive standpoint, I assume, if, kind of looking at the X's and O's of it.
Yeah, for sure. And even as a fan, a lot of people are seeing this one, and a lot of them are really excited. They're saying that we got very similar styles, but I'm not sure that's the case. I think our stand-up's a little different, and we'll see the difference come Saturday night.
I'm not sure how accurate this is. I'm good friends with James Lynch, and I know you've done a bunch of interviews with him over the last few years, but. Man. Did you and Jeremy have an encounter back in the day? Did something happen between you guys?
For that Vegas one or somewhere back then, he was saying he just tapped me on the shoulder at one of the venues at Vegas and asked me to come with him. And, I wasn't with anybody at the moment having a conversation or anything like that. I was just watching the fight. So I didn't really feel so offended as if he separated me from a conversation or things like that. So he was particular with the way he handled it, or maybe it was just potluck. But either way, I don't like the gesture of someone tapping me on the shoulder and bringing me up to Sean Shelby asking to fight me, no matter how nice you do it. So that's kind of really all that was. And then in the midst of the conversation, I think his girl at the time or something snapped a shot of us talking, the three of us. And, I just didn't need all the bells and whistles to get me to fight. I don't think people understand that. I don't really give a fuck, who I fight or anything like that. It's the guys that are ahead of me is who I want. And I don't like all the games and the bullshit, and I felt like there was a lot of that going on that night. But at the end of the day, you want to fight. That's all you got to do. Let's do it. I don't need the fluff.
You mentioned the sports world kind of getting back in action this weekend, and being a guy from the Boston area, I grew up there myself. We both know how important sports can be to everybody from that area, and I know you always carry that banner with you for Boston every single fight. But with no Celtics, no Red Sox, no Bruins right now, you're really the only game in town right now, along with Jorgen de Castro, who's also on this card. But how cool, and I guess how important is it for you to be that guy that is giving people something to talk about in that area?
It's awesome, man. This is what I've been wanting to be my whole career. I only hope that the stage gets bigger and the opportunities continue to grow. I want to be up there with them. The only thing that we don't have in this title town is a UFC strap, and I'm looking to get that put around my waist and bring it home to New England. And we've got a lot of up and coming talent from the New England area, and I think we'll have that mission accomplished soon.
I know Tyson's going to be in your corner on Saturday. Who else is going to take the trip with you to Jacksonville?
Yeah, also my coach Carlos Neto, and then my teammate Rob Font, who's another New England member that's looking to bring that strap home in the 35-pound division. So it's a race between me and him, and we're looking to get the job done together.
How's he doing? I know he just had surgery and everything.
He's a beast, man. He just, no matter, he adapts, overcomes, adjusts and overcomes too. He's hard at work, and he's getting stronger and stronger every day. He's a problem in that division, man. As you see in his fights, now my man can wrestle, and the whole division's fun.
You've had so much time to prepare and think about this fight, and I know you're not typically a prediction guy, but how do you see this all going down Saturday night against Jeremy Stephens?
I see my hand getting raised, man. It's just really as simple as that. However it happens is cool with me, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm going to let it happen organically and let the opportunities present themselves. So whatever Jeremy presents that night, I'm going to take and get my hand raised at the end of the night.
You still have to fight on Saturday, but is it safe to say that win, lose, or draw, this is a build-up to a fight that you're never going to forget?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. This is all it's about, man. Like I did in my post the other day, I was saying, the journey is the destination. I'm just trying to create memories, man, enjoy the moment. My last fight was in Russia, like you said. If you look back, it was in Russia. It can't get much crazier than that. And then here we are during a pandemic, right? Shit, the Fight Island sounds cool to me. I'm just trying to make memories and just really, live out this fight life, man. Take the most from it while I'm in it. And right now, it's a pretty crazy time, big opportunity to put on a show in front of the world. Like you said, all eyes are going to be on us come Saturday night. And I'm grateful for that opportunity and to hopefully inspire not only the people from New England, but everyone going through some shit right now in this pandemic, looking to press forward and stay busy. And I'm excited with that opportunity.
You've had to deal with this from a couple of different perspectives, because not only are you a fighter, you're also a co-owner of Combat Zone MMA in New England. You guys were supposed to have an event on April 10th that was postponed to a later date due to everything going on. It's one thing to deal with all this as a fighter. It's another to deal with it as a business owner and a promoter. How have you been able to handle this all from that aspect of things?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I feel for the local MMA guys. It's tough to let that show go. That's the first one I've ever had to cancel. I take pride in that as well. Even when shit starts hitting the fan, try to keep cards intact for the guys that are on the card. And it was tough letting that one go, but I feel a responsibility as a promoter to try to do what I can to keep these guys busy, get these opportunities that I have in front of me. And all the more reason why I give Dana some props for getting the job done, because I know how hard it was for me locally to try to make this happen. And I know he's got a lot of bigger issues at play, but I'm not on pay-per-view at the moment, so props to him for getting the job done. Hopefully not to jinx us on Saturday night, and doing everything he can, man, as a promoter, to make things happen for us.
Any word or timetable on when you may be able to reschedule that event in New Hampshire? I know it's kind of flaky right now.
So I'm really enjoying the mindset of being a full-time fighter in the zone right now, and I'm going to start entertaining those thoughts. Definitely, I spoke to Tyson about that actually just yesterday about post-fight. I'm going to really buckle down and just think what I could do to get these guys busy again, and how we can get creative in order to do that.
And last thing before I let you go, I'll let you go back to work. I appreciate the time. But before you head out to Jacksonville, as you've seen all over the place, there's a lot of people very excited for this event. And there are others who are, shall I say, more cautious about it all. They don't think that this event should be happening until things are more back to normal for whatever reason. But, what's the message for MMA fans regarding this fight, this event, no matter what side of the fence they're on?
Yeah, I respect everybody's opinion and viewpoints. We all look at life through a different lens. And for me, I'm just focused on the ones that I'm inspiring right now to press forward and just do what they can. I'm not asking them to go out and be reckless, but, at the same time, some people are going to come out of this pandemic worse than they went in. And I'm looking to inspire everyone to try to find a way to come out of this a little bit better than they went in.
Excellent, man. I really appreciate the time, Calvin, especially just days before this big fight. It means a lot. It's finally happening. It's been a minute since you and I have chatted, but I'm glad we're able to do this. Safe travels to you and the team, and all the best to you this Saturday in Jacksonville.
Bye week, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.